Night, and would ask if you could please silence or turn off your cell phones during our meeting. And I'd like to remind everybody also that our meetings are televised every day on Channel 2 at 6 p.m. at midnight, and also are available on YouTube. We're going to go ahead and kick it off tonight with our Pledge of Allegiance and silent prayer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Old business consideration of previous meeting minutes from November 26, 2024, regular meeting. If there's no questions or comments, we just need a motion.
I move that we approve. Go ahead.
I move to approve the minutes from November 26, 2024, regular meeting.
Second.
Okay, motion is seconded. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Hingula.
Aye.
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 All right, motion passed 5-0. Second consideration ordinance number 8254, special use permit to allow accessory dwelling unit at 303 North Esplanade Street.
Mayor and Commission, no changes since your first reading or first consideration. Approval still remains the recommendation.
Okay. Questions, comments? If not, just need to do a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Bowder.
Bowder, aye.
Commissioner Jermaine Wilson, aye.
Mayor Martin, aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Pittman, aye.
Commissioner Hingula, aye.
All right. 5-0. Okay, new business public comment. Sarah, do we have anybody?
We do. Ms. Mary Valesky.
Okay, so we just ask, as you come to the mic, if you could please state your name and address, and we'll just ask if you could keep your comments to 2 to 3 minutes, that'd be great.
Okay. I'm Mary Valesky, and I live at 2712 South 14th Street in Leavenworth. And I've been talking to the city about a problem with my neighbor's trees. It's not just normal leaves in my yard, it's blanketed. She's got 10 or 13 trees in her yard. And the branches are always falling off in my yard and that. So I sent her a text telling her if anything happened to my house, she was responsible. She has somebody come out and do $600 worth of work. I've already paid $1,000 to have the trees trimmed back on the property. I'm paying $4,400 because of the leaves falling on my house and get leaf guard in there. It's not normal. I've got pictures on my cell phone that you could look at. My yard is just covered with them. I can no longer pick up 35 bags of leaves a year. And I just really think the city needs to, you don't get to rake them out to the curb and have them picked up anymore. And I can't do it. I don't know. I can't afford to be paying somebody because I'm paying out the kazoo now for the leaf guard and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Well, ma'am, I appreciate you speaking tonight. Mr. Peterson, if we could get maybe an outline of a few things that we're able to speak through on that and back with you, that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There's no one else.
No one else? Okay. Then with that, we will move on to general items. Item 3, seating of mayor, mayor pro tem, and nomination for financial claims reviewer.
All right. So the City Commission provided consensus at the January 23rd, 2024 study session to formalize the current practice regarding the annual selection of the mayor and mayor pro tem. At the March 12, 2024 meeting, Ordinance 8235, amending the City Code of Ordinances, was passed. During the November 2023 election, Ms. Holly Pittman received the most votes and was nominated to the mayor pro tem position and has been serving in that position currently. Nancy Bowdy received the second most votes in the election and has been waiting her turn per the ordinance that was passed. So now we will see Ms. Holly Pittman become the mayor effective December 10th, 2024 through December 9th of 2025. And Ms. Nancy Bowder shall become the mayor pro tem effective tonight, December 10th, 2024 to December 9th, 2025. So.
All right.
Can I say a few words?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank my mom, who finally made it here, and my dad, and they're not sitting together, but I won't ask why. And I'd like to thank my amazing husband for always supporting me and coming to, and supporting everything that I ever do, or these great ideas, these wild dreams that I have for the city, and he's always supporting me and right there with me. I also like to thank all of my Leavenworth family, aka my friends. Thank you so much for coming tonight and supporting me, and for everyone who voted for me. I do have lots of great ideas and visions for Leavenworth. Economic development being the first one. Just we need to bring in more businesses to the community. We need to fill that space in our business park, and we need to, whether it be with residential, second-story residential living in our downtown. I see Haley here, and she's given me the yes. Or we get some manufacturing plant in our business park. We definitely need to expand our tax base here in Leavenworth. I also want to work on communication. We have a lot of great social media going on. I'd like to expand that through strengthening our communication between the city and the residents by embracing that. We're looking at things like some innovative technology like texting, just to let people know what's going on in our city, because I think it's important that we all know what's going on. And so the more people know, the more knowledge they have, and I think that's super important. And then welcome to Leavenworth. My name is Holly Pittman, and I'm your help desk. So if you have any problems, please don't put them on social media. Call me. Don't put them on Facebook. Call me, because I want to help problem solve with you. I know that every city has problems, whether it's potholes, trash, the homeless, probably some things that I don't even know. Leaves are. So let me hear from you, because I want to work with you. I want to be transparent, and I want to try to problem solve together. So I am super excited to be the mayor. I'm super excited for the future. I'm super excited to be the mayor of First City. And I want to thank Mayor Martin for your leadership this year. Thank you for letting me follow in your footsteps. And thanks for sometimes not being here so I can practice to get me warmed up. So, and thank you for your service for Leavenworth. You did an amazing job, and thank you so much. So with that, are you guys ready to get to work? Let's go. So thank you so much. Okay, so first up, so everybody be patient with me, because this is really my official first time. So we are going to have to find a new financial claims reviewer. I know, Ed, that you are super sad that your time has come to an end.
Terribly sorry about that, yeah, right.
So I can either take a nomination or someone can volunteer. I think it's either going to probably be.
Yeah, I volunteer. It's no
Woo!
problem.
Woo!
There you go, man. That's what I was gonna nominate you.
That was easy.
Oh, yeah, if you're fine with that, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
so.
So Jermaine, you're off the hook.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll.
I move to nominate Griff Martins
Second.
to be financial claims reviewer. Yeah. Second. Yeah.
Well, I got a second. All right, well, I'll begin voting with Mayor Pro Tem.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
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 All right. All right, next up is the cancellation of December 24th City Commission meeting. We don't want to be here waiting for Santa. Do you want to address that,
Comes.
Scott, or?
Yeah, I just, real quick, I mean, that it seems in keeping with city tradition, as we would require a vote for you to cancel that, but what is within my discretion that is generally traditional, and I plan on continuing, is that City Hall and all city facilities that are non-essential will also close to Christmas Eve, the 24th, at noon.
Oh, okay, so you want to be open? Afternoon.
We will
Okay.
be open, that is correct. But I thought I'd go ahead and announce that while we're here, so people don't come to City Hall afternoon on Christmas Eve.
Okay, so you hear that out there?
Yep.
We are closing at noon on December 24th.
We're all non-essential services, yeah.
So we'll go ahead and take a motion to cancel the December 24th City Commission meeting.
I move that we cancel the December 24th City Commission meeting.
All right. All right, second. All right, I'll begin voting with Commissioner Hingela.
Aye.
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 All right, motion passes. Next up is the 2025 cereal malt beverage license.
All right, Madam Mayor and Commissioner, before you tonight is the 2025 cereal malt beverage license approval. It is required that the City Commission approve these each year by state statute. 21 of our establishments have made application for renewal of their cereal malt beverage for 2025, and the police department has performed the records check and approved the applications for renewal. So we are here tonight requesting approval from the city commission.
Does any commissioner have any questions?
No.
No?
Nope.
All right, pretty straightforward. I think we do this time of year, correct? All right, with that, I'll take a motion.
I move that the 2024 budget for the above-mentioned funds be amended as proposed.
Second.
No?
No.
We're on the CMB
Budget.
licenses.
You're on the licenses.
Let me back it on back.
Here, you want me to do it?
Go ahead,
Page
Jeff.
14.
I move approval of the cereal malt beverage licenses effective January 1, 2025.
Second.
I second that.
You're close. You're good.
But I ain't trying to mess
All right,
with
any
my
other
bad.
We
discussion?
need to do the budget.
All right, I'll begin voting with Mayor Pro Tem Bowder.
Aye.
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 All right, motion passes. All right, public hearing. Now we're about to open a public hearing for the amending of the 2024 budget. With that, I just need a motion to open the hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All right, so I'll begin
We vote to.
vote to open the hearing with Commissioner Hingle.
Aye.
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 All right. At this point, we're going to have staff comments about the hearing. So you want to go ahead, Roberta or Scott?
I'll handle it.
Okay. You got this?
Yes, I got this, Mayor Pittman and Commissioners. The policy report proposes a republication of the 2024 budget, which will increase the expenditure authority to accommodate unanticipated expenditures in the Recreation Fund, Library Fund, and the Library Employee Benefit Fund. According to KSA 792929A, we are authorized to amend the budget to spend money not in the original budget as long as the expenditures do not require additional tax levies, and none of these accommodations require additional tax levies. On September 12th, 2023, the Commission approved and adopted the 2024 budget, establishing the maximum expenditures for funds and including the ad valorem taxes levied to provide funding for those expenditures. According to Kansas statutes, funds cannot exceed the expenditure authority without amending the budget, and budget amendments must be made from existing revenues and cannot require additional tax levies. Before proposing an amendment to the budget, there must be a notice of public hearing published in the local newspaper 10 days prior to the hearing, and the publication went out in the Leavenworth Times on Saturday, November 23rd, 2024. And due to circumstances that weren't anticipated with the 2024 budget that was originally published, the above-mentioned funds may exceed their expenditure authority. There's an explanation of the amendments on the second page. The library fund and the library employee benefit fund are pretty simple. Basically, we're collecting more motor vehicle tax than we thought we would collect and what we budgeted. And this is passed through. We receive the money and we pay it out. So increasing the budget authority simply allows us to pay the money to the library that we collect for them. The recreation fund, we're just cutting it close. I do not know if we will exceed the budgeted spending authority, but it's close enough that we might. And we'd be in violation of budget law if we do go over and we haven't amended the budget. Staff recommends that the 2024 budget for the Recreation Fund, Library Fund, and Library Employee Benefit Fund be amended as proposed. And these proposed amendments require no additional tax levies.
So no taxes, additional taxes from our city residents, right? No, their
Correct.
taxes will not be raised.
Correct.
Just want to make that
Yes.
known. Any questions from the commission?
I don't think so.
Any questions from the public?
Oh, yes, so it's a public hearing, so does anyone from the public want to come up and ask any questions?
I think you got them with no taxes.
Yeah.
That's really all they cared about, that's all they want to hear. So I wanted to emphasize that. Okay. So at this time I close the public hearing. Okay, so I'll need a motion to go ahead and close the public hearing.
So move.
Second.
All right. I'll begin voting with Mayor Pro Tem Bowder.
Aye.
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 All right. Public hearing is now closed, so now we need a motion to consider amendment to the 2024 budget.
I move, the 20, I'm sorry,
Oh, you good.
It's a lot.
2024 budget for the funds be amended as proposed.
Second.
All right, okay. Well, I'll begin voting with Commissioner Hengler.
Aye.
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 All right. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, next up, resolutions. We'll start with Resolution B23AA, Planners 2, Tenant Write-Off Accounts. Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm here to write off the balances which HUD requires us to do yearly for accounts that we're unable to collect on because tenants are either disabled, in the nursing home, or they're deceased, or just unable to pay their balances.
Does the commission have any questions about the balances or about the write-offs?
Oh, man.
No, we do this every year, and there's uncollectible, so.
So we just write them off, we don't go after like,
No, we don't hunt them down. No, we
okay,
just-
you know what I was gonna say. Yeah. Okay,
We don't send them to a collection agency.
collection, thank you.
No, we don't.
Okay. All right, any questions then? All right, well, I just need a motion then.
Madam Mayor, I move to adopt the attached resolution deleting uncollectible tenant accounts.
Second.
All right. We'll begin voting with Mayor Pro Tem Bowder.
Aye.
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 All right, motion carries. Next resolution is B 2389, adoption of admissions and continued occupancy policy.
That's me again.
Hi again.
Hi. And HUD requires this also yearly, well, not yearly, every so often they'll change some of the things in our policies which we have to follow for HUD rules. So this time they gave us some updates, so we need to update that policy as well to be compliant with their rules.
Okay. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
I read through it, it's boring.
All right. Well, then I'll take a motion.
I move to adopt the attached resolution amending the admissions and continued occupancy policy for the public hearing program.
Second.
All right. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Hengler.
Aye.
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 All right, you up again? No, we're gonna switch, okay. B 2390, hello, how are you doing?
Section 8. Yeah.
So this is adoption of Section 8 Administrative Plan.
Yes, ma'am, and again, this is just a procedure that we do once a year, we review it. There was a lot of changes this time, so we actually rewrote the whole book, and it will be available online after you approve it, so that way the public, if anybody needs to read it, we're gonna start posting it online that way. If anybody questions why we do what we do, they're more than welcome to get on and read.
Can you tell me what one of the biggest changes was?
It's mostly their systems, when I do inspections, it used to be called the HQS inspection, and now it's called Inspire, and they just changed the whole administrative plan. They changed all of their rules on it, on how to do it, and what's required and what isn't. One change that most people would know, everybody has smoke detectors in their home, hopefully. Most of them in the old days were battery charged, and you could take your battery out and put a new one in. But what they're requiring now is that they're sealed, so you can't take the battery out when you burn your toast. It literally goes off until you get rid of the smoke.
In the old days, I still have that.
Well, and what they're recommending is you don't. They
okay.
want the 10 years sealed where it can't be touched, or where it's actually plugged into electrics and, it's ran through the electricity. So that's what they would prefer.
Fire chief's nodding his head. Okay.
Yeah.
Does the commission have any other questions about the new rules? All right, well, with that, I'll take a motion.
I move to approve resolution adopting the Section 8 administrative plan.
Okay, second?
And I second it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll begin voting with Commissioner Hengler.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, bids, contracts, and agreements. Consider city commercial insurance package 2025. All right,
Madam Mayor and Commissioners, each year the city, in conjunction with Mike Riley of the Riley Company, reviews the renewal or possible bids for commercial insurance coverage for the city. This year, our current provider, Travelers, provided a renewal quote for 2025 coverage. I did provide that premium summary in the policy report, and it is an increase of $181,156 from last year, which is more than
Is this
what
why
we
we got
typically.
these?
No, that's a yearly gift. That's not part of the insurance package. So that is more than what we typically budget, which is a 5% increase. Mike Riley of the Riley Company is here to kind of go over the ins and outs of our coverage package and answer any questions that you may have as why our increase looks the way it does. And then, just so that you know, the increase in the premium, should you approve, will be paid out of general fund, sewer fund, refuse fund, planners 2 fund, and CVB fund reserves, which is typically how we've covered any overages that we've had. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Riley, and I've got some packets to pass out.
Mike, you can sit up here. You don't have to.
Okay, great. Well, this is perfect for about an hour and a half insurance dissertation. Madam Mayor, members of the commission, thank you for your time tonight. As mentioned, we are recommending the renewal with Travelers Insurance this year, even recognizing that it is the second year of what I would classify as an extremely difficult year in the insurance business, and that is also relating to your program as well. Traditionally, over the 26 or 7 years that I've been representing the city in the insurance marketplace, we've been averaging 4 or 5% every year from an increase standpoint. And in fact, some years we've been able to actually peel back those insurance premiums and save the city money. Over the past 2 years, I will share with you that that has not been the case as you're seeing. It has really been the second of what I would call the toughest market in almost a generation. I think we're at the top of this thing, but quite frankly, I'm not a fortune teller, so I'm not sure what's going to happen over the next 12 months. But it feels like, from an insurance perspective, what I'm seeing in the marketplace, we are at the top of this thing. So why are we experiencing some of these increases? As I've mentioned to Sarah, certainly your claim experience within the city's program has been phenomenal. We're averaging about a 25% loss ratio right now over the past 4 years. Which quite honestly means that you are affording coverage. I'm saying that because if we had a really poor experience over the past couple of years, I think we'd be in a much different place where insurance companies would not be offering us coverage, which has been the case with several municipalities and public entities, where we have to piece together coverage instead of going with one program. So the bulk of the reason for what we're seeing here is really just industry-wide and what's happening all around the world. Record losses in the insurance industry for the past 2 years, catastrophic losses, hurricanes that you've heard about, wildfires that you've heard about, regional claims. What happens in the Midwest here is more hail and wind related. For instance, July 7th, hail sat over the city of Lansing for about 45 minutes. Since that date, we have re-roofed over 300 homes in the city of Lansing because of that July 11th storm. Now, you wouldn't think July 11th would have hail in Kansas, but we did. Those are the kind of things that are happening that are driving insurance costs across not only commercial accounts like tonight, but also in your personal lives with your homeowners, your auto. Certainly, inflation is a piece of that. Increased costs of reconstruction for property, supply chain and labor are a big piece of that. For auto, you're seeing some increases there. Again, parts, electronics, if you bump a car today, it's no longer a $300 fix, it is a $3,000 fix. Reinsurance costs. I know that's a term that not many people are very familiar with, but Travelers takes your insurance dollars, your premiums, and they go buy insurance on top of what they offer you. The reinsurance cost, the reinsurance marketplace, for your account, for large accounts like you, especially large property accounts, has more than doubled over the last 2 years. They do that to spread their risk, right? We have over $69 million of property coverage that we are insuring for the city of Leavenworth alone here. If the F4 tornado blew through, knock on wood, we certainly hope that doesn't happen, But Travelers does not want $65 or $69 million of risk. So they go out and buy insurance when they're offering you insurance. That marketplace has certainly tightened, and the premiums that they're paying have more than doubled as well. And then finally, we're seeing record-breaking jury awards. When there are major claims, whether that's auto, liability, law enforcement liability, public official liability, when we're having those claims, they're typically not smaller claims anymore. We're seeing record-breaking jury awards. So, from the city's perspective, again, we're having tremendous loss experience, about 25% for the year, which has put us in a position that Travelers offered us coverage. We did go out to the marketplace, as I was explaining to Sarah. So as a broker on the city's behalf, we do go to the marketplace to shop and to see what other options are available. The only other option that was even afforded to us this year without breaking up the coverage in every way, shape, or form was Hartford Insurance. Hartford would have written about 70% of the coverage, and we would have taken the balance to what's called the E&S marketplace. Hartford's coverage alone was right at $930,000. We would have had to round out that coverage with some specialty lines, which would have put us over the $1 million mark had we gone that direction. Without Travelers, we would have to go to the E&S market to break up coverage and to have multiple insurance carriers handling different facets of the program. A carrier for your property, a carrier for your auto, and so on. And I can share with you, for accounts that we have that are in that situation, the premiums will skyrocket. So, we are in a position where we have had a 21-year relationship with Travelers, which has been phenomenal. They've been a good partner, and you have been a good partner of them. And I think it's critical in today's world, given the lack of options in the insurance marketplace, to find that partner and to hopefully ride that wave, during the good years and the bad. You have an extremely comprehensive program with Travelers. One carrier handles all the coverage with the exception of a few specialty lines. They handle your property, your equipment, your liability, your crime, your auto, your public official liability, law enforcement liability, umbrella, and then we have cyber coverage that is rounding out the program as well. We go through those coverages, the changes, and all that stuff with Sarah and her team. I'm happy to answer questions. I've given you tonight the full-blown proposal, which is in depth. It goes into a lot of detail about the insurance program itself. I've given you a 4-year claim analysis, which shows you the claims that have been paid by Travelers over the past 4 years. Again, I would tell you, you are on the better side of this equation. The city of Leavenworth has had tremendous loss experience. And then I've given you a few things with Travelers, kind of just outlining the things that I've also mentioned as far as what they're seeing in the marketplace that is driving the insurance costs right now. Again, I think we are at the top of this thing. The last 2 years have been painful, and they have been painful across the board. Whether you are a public entity or a commercial enterprise, and I promise you, you will, as a person, you will be feeling that in your homeowner's insurance and your personal auto insurance as well. Sadly, the insurance marketplace is just in this world right now. So with that, I'm happy to answer questions, and I'll open it up.
I have a question about 5% increase. I mean, when I'm doing the figures here, I'm getting a lot higher percentage than that.
No, I think Sarah mentioned because it's more than a 5% increase. The actual increase is 31.
31, that's what I got when
We
I
typically
figured out.
budget a 5% increase when we're doing the budget process, so we've exceeded that.
Got it.
But we're lost.
We're lost.
Yeah.
We're 2.5 to 3 employees is what that is costing us right there. Yeah.
Well, the big ones, property earthquake, 26%, and commercial automotive, 26%. Like, those are two big ones, it looks like, on your increases on your.
Yes, Madam Commissioner, and I think, when you look at property in particular, it's a very big challenge here in the Midwest. We have seen, for instance, the cost of a roof for a commercial building go up 200% in the last 4 years. You will see that in the line item after mine, HVAC proposal. The cost for these items, maintaining these items, replacing these items are astronomical right now. I don't know if we'll see that go down, but certainly it is attributing to your premium increases. When we talk about insuring $69 million worth of property, we're paying $254,000 for that insurance. One claim will wipe that out.
Well, yeah, we're seeing that on our building costs and our equipment costs and that sort of thing too, so I see what you're saying. Thank you.
If you have questions.
Yeah, just real quick, so Mr. Riley, and I get what you're saying on all this here, just kind of your own personal take. I know you've already been given that, but, you know, we have natural disasters every year, and I think inflation is the biggest thing probably driving a lot of it, right? But, I mean, what are your thoughts on this? Because technically, I mean, you know, they got the market cornered and everything like that, and 30% increase, 31.4, that's huge. So, any other thoughts on what the talk is on the street as far as any curbing of this, or like just down the road? I mean, what's the outlook look like? Because it's like, oh, every year, well, we had another tornado, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More insight. What can you share? What are you hearing from?
100%. If you're asking my opinion, I think it's horrible. I think it's horrific. I think it's painful. I hate to deliver this kind of news. I love delivering 3 and 4% increases or saving the city money. At the same time, we're just not in that position right now. When I look out, I see that you know, what I'm seeing in the marketplace is more opportunity for carriers to come in. There are carriers that are looking to come into the public entity space, but they're just not making that leap. Typically, when you underwrite a city, you have large property risks, you have large roofs, you typically have older buildings in certain areas. And there are certain specialty coverages that we insure with the city, such as law enforcement liability. Those claims are not small in today's world. When there is a law enforcement issue or a claim, that starts at several $100,000s in today's world. When I look at what's happening in our agency from just simple auto claims, you know, we have an auto claim going right now. It's a personal auto, a broken ankle and a broken leg. It is a $700,000 settlement award for an 18-year-old that had a broken leg and a broken ankle in an auto. $700,000 settlement. Those are the kind of things that are driving costs that are out of your control, they're out of my control, and they're out of most of our controls when we're operating an entity like the city of Leavenworth that has over 400 employees and several hundred autos and all the equipment that goes with it. So as I look forward, what are our options, I think, to try to curb this if the insurance marketplace doesn't curb it? I think we are going to start and have to start working with Sarah and Scott and their teams to really start analyzing and peeling back perhaps some coverage to curb what might be the only options out there on the table, right? If there are no more carrier options, then we're going to have to look to some maybe self-insurance or partial self-insurance on certain items. But again, that sounds easy, right? Well, let's just self-insure our losses.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to pay $700 some odd thousand this year, which is an unbelievable amount of money. But one claim wrecks the city for that. So I think there's a lot of analysis that we can do going forward, depending on how this thing starts shaking out. It has been, again, I know, you know, we certainly have tornadoes, and we certainly have fires, and we have hail, and we have windstorm, and those things are underwritten into all insurance policies. But over the past several years, or 3 or 4 years, there have been significant catastrophic losses, hurricanes, and that might not change.
Right.
Right? I mean,
That's my
hurricanes on the coast. I mean,
Yeah.
if you are in Florida today, as we have a few clients, you will not be buying insurance. Homeowners insurance has gone up to a point where people were paying $7,000 for their homeowners, and now it's $33,000. They're having to sell their house because they can't afford the insurance.
Sure.
So you're seeing the world change a little bit. The insurance companies that work in Florida are bankrupt. The state is insuring people in Florida now. So it becomes a public service almost, so to speak. So I do think there's some things that we can do as we go forward. I do hope these last 2 years that we're seeing an end of this, and that I'm going to be able to come back mid-year next year and meet with the staff and say, I think we're trending in the better direction, and we're gonna have better options for you. But if not, I think we're gonna have to really dive in and kind of look at ways of maybe peeling back some coverage and self-insurance and things that we can.
Okay, well, that's exactly what I was looking for, and I appreciate that. Ultimately, we need more players in the insurance game.
100%.
Well, and I wondered too how the the East Coast, West Coast, the South, all this stuff, is how that's affecting us, because we've been very lucky here with our weather compared to all the flooding and stuff. Does that affect our
Yeah, I can
insurance
tell you,
premiums?
for instance, Travelers is it's an international company. They have a lot of coverage in every state. So when a natural disaster hits California or Michigan or wherever, Travelers is gonna pay a big piece of that pie.
And so it affects us.
It affects everybody. So the fact, and that's what I hope I made clear earlier, the fact that we have a roughly 25% claims ratio is really the reason that we're still getting coverage afforded to us here at the city of Leavenworth. Otherwise, I do believe we would see the Travelers of the world saying, listen, we're gonna non-renew the account. It's been a lost leader for us, and we, as your broker, would have to split that up and go to, several different carriers to get us the same coverage that we're afforded today.
But that'd be even more expensive by breaking it up.
Probably,
Yeah.
Mr. Riley,
Appreciate that.
is this policy gonna cover new buildings that we put up? We recently put a new building in the service center.
Correct.
Is that gonna be covered already?
Yeah, so we work with Sarah and her team. Anytime there's changes throughout the year,
Yep.
we'll add, delete, as needed.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions for Mr. Riley? All right. With that, I will entertain a motion to consider the
Okay.
new package.
Move approval of the city commercial insurance package 2025.
Second.
All right. We'll begin voting with Mayor Pro Tem Bowder.
Aye.
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 Thank you, Mr. Riley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very detailed.
All right, next up, consider award for bid
lot
for
of money.
fire station number 1, HVAC replacement.
HVAC.
I feel like, it wasn't the HVAC before, it was
No, something else.
something else. Oh, it was HVAC? Okay.
Heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and get started. Madam Mayor, Commissioners, just a quick recap. We came before you earlier in the year. We went out for bid for the new AC unit for Station 1. And, and unlike what would be at your home, I brought a couple of pictures here. This thing's pretty massive. We have a boiler at the station. It's a commercial type of thing. So it's not like the price that you normally have. But we went out for bid to replace this, and also the air handler, which is on the inside. And I'll just show you real quick what that looks like. This is on the inside, and AC. This here handles all the air that pushes from the cold, and also it brings air in year round too. So there's always pushing air into the building. So it's a very massive type of deal. And we went out and got one bid to come back last time, and it was right there where we thought it would be. Then after the fact, after y'all had approved it, they came back and said, hey, we messed up. That air handler is a lot more than what we anticipated, and it's going we can't do it for what we did. So we canceled that, and then we got with a local engineer, kind of helped us and rewrote everything, and then and to go back out. In the meantime, Chief Kitchens at that time, there was a grant that became available, that we could apply for. We haven't been awarded yet, and it was specifically for energy efficiency type stuff, $70,000+. $76,300. Yeah. And so Pat told me at that time. He said, Gary, he said, you've been hearing about different things. We replaced the boilers a few years back. We've done a lot for the years. He said, let's just fix it all. We're going to get, hopefully we'll get this money. And so let's just fix it all. So we like I said, we worked with the engineer. We went back out and, to do the air handler and some other recommendations they made. And then there's another item here too. I'll just show you too. It's pretty expensive. It doesn't look like a lot, but it is. This is a VFD thing, and what it does, it's kind of like a dimmer switch, if you will, on your, on the light. As you get more draw or need more flow, this thing will speed everything up, and then, you know, depending on the temperatures and the demand, it slows it down, so it's an energy efficient thing. That controller's a lot of money too, and they recommend just go ahead and replacing that too. So those are kind of the three things that we had went out to bid to get that. Currently, we have R22 Freon, which is going away. The government says you can't use that no more, so it's a different kind of Freon. It's a R4410A Freon. And those air handlers, there's only about a couple in the country, because, you know, we can continue to get it'll change the Freon will change the new stuff, but they've already changed some of the standards, so that they won't be making any more of the air handlers that would handle that. So, like I said, when the bids come back in, we got quite a few of them there, and when we reviewed them, you know, not price, but everything that they had proposed, and we looked at them, the RAND construction, although it shows a little bit more money, they had included a hospital-grade ultraviolet light, and so that was the best. And what that is, that's light inside that air handler. We've had problems in the years past with mold and stuff. This UV light, hospital-grade will knock out mold, any other bacteria and stuff to make it better, you know, conditions inside the station. Also, in their proposal, they proposed that they would give us a year preventive maintenance on not just this AC unit, but the whole system completely, which has value to do that too. The other ones maybe just been on the AC unit, and not the whole thing, so but we felt that was a better thing too. And then also with RAND's been a long-term relationship. They've been doing our service on that particular units and stuff down there for quite some time, so we feel very comfortable with them. So with that being said, it's staff recommendation that we go with the RAND construction for $129,896. We was budgeted $106,000, because you know, when we get pricing a year in advance, we don't quite know what it's gonna be. We recently, you know, I approved it, replaced the air conditioning, everything at Station 2, which is more like a residential type. There's 3 units, and we had a $11,000 savings there. So we're still a little bit over. We're still hoping to get this grant, $77,000.
When will you know about the grant?
Madam Mayor, had conversations with the preliminary grant reviewing process about 3 weeks ago. We made it past that hurdle. I'm pretty optimistic about this type of grant. It's not a competitive grant where we put in with other agencies. The Department of Energy reached out to us, made us aware of the allocation that we would be eligible for if we had a project that would fit within the parameters, which we did. And so I'm pretty optimistic. When I talked to him, he thought maybe 4 to 6 weeks, which was 3 weeks ago. So I think sometime soon we'll have an answer. Again, I'm pretty optimistic that we will receive at least some of that money.
That's great.
So if we don't get that, then we'll take it out of operating?
That would be a revert thing.
CIP sales tax fund reserves.
Got it, okay.
And one reason, like I mentioned, on those, what we're being told from all these, that air handler, I think there's only like 2 of them in the country, because the government's changed some standards and stuff. You can still move forward. It's not like we're buying anything obsolete. They're just having to switch some stuff. And we don't want to miss this opportunity for and the contractor isn't going to invest money on getting something unless they get that PO. So we just want to kind of lock it up. So then, that don't mean we got to move on it. We just get it locked up to get them know that we're going to go with them, so they can order the stuff, and then hopefully we'll get the grant by then.
Okay.
Commission, have questions?
When do you expect to be done? I mean, after, in the summer sometime next year?
Yeah, I'd like to get it before it starts getting hot.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. No other questions?
All right. No more questions. I'll take a motion.
Madam Mayor, I move to approve the awarding of the project stated by Chief Birch to RAND Construction for the amount not to exceed $129,896.
Second.
All right, second. All All right, we'll begin voting with Commissioner Hingla.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, first consideration ordinance for amend Chapter 38 Solid Waste, Articles 1 and 2.
That's me. That's you.
Hello.
Madam Mayor and Commissioners, before you tonight for first consideration is an ordinance to amend Chapter 38, Solid Waste, Article 1 and Article 2 to address the procedure for replacement trash carts and amend some text to ensure that they align with the procedures for trash collection. Based on the recommendations from the Solid Waste Citizen Task Force, the City Commission moved forward with the hybrid approach to refuse collection. The city provided all residents with the option to receive a poly cart using proceeds from the ARPA Act. The city maintains a supply of carts that are used to replace stolen carts as well as provide carts to new homeowners. So people who didn't select it in the beginning can call back and get another cart. We have begun receiving requests to replace carts that have been damaged by the homeowners. The damages have occurred from backing over the trash cart, putting hot coals in it, and it melting the plastic. So those need to be replaced so that they can return to trash cart usage. Staff does feel that the residents who are damaging their trash carts should be responsible for paying for a replacement trash cart. And before we could put a fee into place, we reviewed the city fee schedule and city code and realized that we didn't have any language in either to address replacement of trash carts. So staff and our city attorney worked together to amend the section of the city code to address the replacement, basically stating that the homeowner would be responsible, or tenant, should it be a tenant property, but basically that they would have to pay for the replacement of the trash cart. So we're here tonight requesting first consideration. I'm here if you have any questions. Mr. Waters is here, and along with Public Works Director Brian Faust.
Madam Mayor, I'll add just a couple thoughts. We also took this opportunity just to update the code just based on how collection services work in the city now. I'll give you a minor example. Yard waste was not something that was defined well, and you all know that a lot of people put yard waste in those, I call them the Home Depot big yard bags, cardboard bags, what have you. We didn't have provisions for even like that as an acceptable container. So we went through, did a lot of the code, a lot of cleanup, added new provisions, clarifying the distinctions between waste that the city will pick up as distinguished from construction waste, hazardous materials, bulky waste, large item pickup day stuff. So we make sure we had our definitions more updated with what the modern system really is. And so you'll see changes throughout that kind of clarify some of that language as well.
Good.
Appreciate it.
And how much, it might be in here, I didn't see it. How much is a replacement cart?
$100 even.
$100 even, okay.
That's not in the ordinance, that'll be in the fee schedule. The ordinance is drafted in a way such that the dollar amount, we don't have to, every time we change the dollar amount, we don't have to revise city code. It's just part of the annual or semi-annual update of the fee schedule.
Do we have any idea, and I think Sarah and Mr. Faust, didn't we have was it 7,500 or 10,000 that we ordered originally? Do you remember?
I'm gonna let Mr. Faust answer that one.
We delivered about 10,000 rolls of trash bags every year. And so that's about the number of poly carts that we put out.
Okay.
The majority of people took the 95 gallon. We did have some 1 and 2 person households that took the 65 gallon.
Okay, and do we know roughly volume of requests that are coming in right now? I mean, is there 100 out there? There's 2,000? What percentage of folks are, just out of curiosity?
There's very few people that have damaged the carts.
Okay.
But like I said, we've had a couple, and so it was the time to clean up the language and to allow us to charge for replacement of those carts.
And are these going to be pass-through costs? The residents are receiving the same cost we're paying for the container, or is there any type of?
There's a markup to cover. If we purchase them in bulk, I have to buy 180 at a time. Mm-hmm. And so we get a bulk price for that, but then there's staff time of assembling the carts and then actually delivering them to the resident.
Okay.
And so $100 is basically what the cost is.
Okay, okay.
And to clarify, this is only for replacement carts that are damaged or destroyed. Obviously, they're built to withstand a garbage truck handling them, so it takes some amount of negligence to really destroy one. So the original cart is still the same.
I'd like to buy another one personally. So, an additional one, because that's been pretty handy, so I'm like, I need 2 of these things, so.
Some people
Oh,
don't
can you
even
do
use
that? Can
theirs.
someone want to buy additional one? Can you have 2?
Well, we've had a lot of requests for additional ones, but what we're actually trying to get people to do is actually start to recycle more. And so a lot of the waste that goes in those trash cars can actually be recycled.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to say, hey, there's a 95-gallon cart to use, and our recycle center is open. Please utilize that if possible. So
Oh,
that's
okay,
what we're
that's good to
pushing.
know, because I knew we were talking about being able to buy additional at the time, so maybe that's, you're thinking you don't want to do that now.
Well,
Brian and I will be looking in probably next year into ways to decrease overall waste collection and use in the city so that we have less impact on our services moving forward, because as of now, we're pretty lenient on what we pick up. So I think for the sake of our services and what we can manage, we should be moving in the opposite direction of people throwing away less.
That's going to be a hard learn curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Amazon.com, all that stuff.
a lot of recycled stuff there.
So we're not recommending or allowing people to purchase 2 poly cards? Okay.
Not at this time.
So what happens when somebody moves?
The cart is actually the
Belong to the property.
city-owned cart, so
Yeah.
it's associated with the property,
Do they don't bring the cart back, you just transfer that number to the new?
the new owner.
I can speak from experience. I just bought a house in Leavenworth and the cart was there when we moved in.
Well, there you go.
That's what's supposed to be done, but I
This
don't know
ordinance
if
does
people
also
take it with
clarify
them.
that the carts are owned by the city, are not the property.
Have we had someone take the cart with them yet? And then not had a cart there for the new people?
I would say yes to that, but we would provide the new owner with a replacement cart at no cost.
Okay,
Good, that's good.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
Moving along, all right, answered my question.
all right.
So before another poly card myself, but we good.
And, okay, all right.
Smaller boxes.
Any
More
other
talking.
poly cart questions?
Now I'm sure we'll have more after.
I know.
after tonight.
Right, okay. All right, well then I'll take a motion.
No,
Oh,
you
it's
just need a
consensus, yeah, it's
Consensus,
consensus,
yes.
sorry.
Yes,
Go here,
Okay,
Yep.
yep,
yes.
Yeah.
take Mr. Fausti.
all right. So now we're at claims, so would you read that, or would Commissioner Hengler read the claims? Is this your last one?
One last
See's up, I've done the review, he hasn't.
Oh, that makes sense, okay, thank you. This is your last one.
That's okay. I move that we approve claims from November 22nd, 2024 through December 5th, 2024 in the amount of $1,846,301.65. Net amount for payroll number 24 effective November 29th, 2024 in the amount of $451,527.72. No police or fire pension.
Second.
All right, I'll begin voting with Mayor Pro Tem Bowder.
Aye.
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 All right, thank you. All right, well, we'll go around and start with you, Scott. You have anything for this week?
I do have a couple of things. First of all, I wanted to say I had a great time at the 100th anniversary of City Hall. I got to see all of you that were there, and I just want to thank all the work that the CBB staff put into decorating and getting all the supplies and stuff. They really put a lot of time and effort in the back end to make that a great event. So just wanted to thank them for a successful event. Second thing I wanted to do is Kim Portillo, if you would please stand up. Kim is our new,
Hi, Kim. Welcome.
new Director of Community Planning and Community Development. So I wanted to introduce her to you
Welcome.
all. And, we're definitely very excited to have her on board. So.
Nice to meet you all. Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you.
I come from Leavenworth previously, or not Leavenworth, you're in Leavenworth. I come from Lenexa. I've also been with the city of Kansas City, Kansas in unified government.
Okay.
I'm a KU grad.
Rock
and
Chalk.
Happy to be here with you guys.
Well, we're happy you're here. Welcome.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
All right. Sarah?
I have nothing.
Mr. Waters? All right. All right.
Go through the audience.
Yeah, the audience. My mom's here. My mom's here. I know she's dying to say something. All right, Mayor Pro Tem.
I just say congratulations, Mayor.
Well, thank you.
I know there's a lot of good things that you're wanting to do this year, so look forward to it.
Thank you, and congratulations to you too.
Thank you.
Woman power here today.
Yeah, thank you.
Jermaine.
Madam Mayor, Holly, I am very thankful, blessed, and honored to be serving with you. And as you lead this community well, just know that you got my support. God has his hand up on you. You've been leading with your heart. You've been serving and representing this community well. And I'm just blessed to be called your brother, your friend, and then also, your colleague.
Aw.
So I'm proud of you.
Make me cry. Thank you, Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner Hinkla?
Yeah, a couple of things. Yeah, the 100th anniversary during the Vintage Homes Tour, I was really surprised and very pleased to see so many people come through over the 4 hours we were open, come through to see the city hall, and a lot of folks came in and said, oh,
Never been here.
I've never been in this room, and a lot of folks never been in the building at all.
Yeah.
So it was really a pleasure to see so many people coming in, and the cake wasn't bad either. So, and also congratulations to the mayor and the new mayor pro tem. We got another year to go through before you take it over, Commissioner Bowder, but I think the year will be productive. We'll get a lot of good things done. So, thank you.
Thank you. Did you give any tours?
Yes, I did. I talked to a lot of people.
It was great.
Good.
Can you imagine me talking?
Not at all.
So you like that. Good deal. And also want to say congratulations, Mayor Pittman, and I know you're going to do a great job in 2025.
Thank
and
you.
going to be a lot, probably coming in a lot of different directions all the time, and a lot of curveballs, I'm sure, along the way. But it'll be great to serve along with you and everybody again in 2025. And want to say also thank you to the city for allowing me to be your mayor in 2024. We were not expecting to replace our city manager, but I'm glad we got that knocked out also, and definitely a team effort. Appreciate everybody on staff, their attitudes, a lot of great attitudes, and the desire to drive forward. But again, congratulations again. Merry Christmas early, everybody, and that's all.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Martin. It was amazing serving underneath you as your mayor pro tem, and thank you for being such a role model and being very patient with me as I learn the ropes. So, and thank you to my fellow commissioners for the support. I think we got a great team up here. We work really well together, and I'm looking forward to 2025. And Scott, you and I, right?
We got it.
Blind, we got this. So we're both new at it, but here, yeah, we got this. We can do it. That's right. So with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Starting with Mayor Pro Tem Bowder.
Aye, we can all say aye.
Oh, aye. All right. Thank you.
God bless.